What's up, internet world, and welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you the CLA35 AMG. I'm excited to get the CLA35 here because we already reviewed the GLA45, which was awesome. The thing ripped like crazy. So what is the one step below it like in a car? We're about to find out. One thing's for sure, it's insulated, but not that well insulated, that it's fairly loud in here. Now this is amplified. This is fakey sound, but it's a good fakey sound. It's not like a annoying fakey sound. I'm trying to turn the volume down for the sound, but I should just shift up a gear. God, these cars really wake me up. It just flies. This DCT shifts so fast. It's just very tossable. Like, look at this thing. Man, it's so good. Damn, what an out-of-the-box car. And the brakes are solid. On center feel is so good. Look at this. Look at that. Just watch my hand and watch the handling. The only crazy part is this car is like Bumblebee yellow, so like everybody can see me. So I'm like check this out. It's the easiest car in the world to launch. Like, I kid you not, easiest car in the world to launch. So this dynamic button here, I simply just put into Sport Plus. On the brake, push the brake down, push the throttle, raise start, release brake to start. So easy. On the throttle here, on the brakes, really good brakes. This is a very light, tossable car. On the throttle here. So in the CLA, there are three versions. There's the non-AMG, that's a CLA250 that does 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. And then there's this, the CLA35 AMG. And yes, this does 0 to 60 in high 4 seconds. And then the 45, you ask? Low 4s. So I'm gonna be honest, when the CLA first came out, I wasn't a huge fan. It was a baby CLS, which was super popular at the time, but I just felt like the quality wasn't there. It was really like plasticky and pieced together. They had the shape going, but that was about it. And then they spent some time and effort to understand what they can improve on. And of course, here we are, a new and improved version. So what does that look like? Well, for starters, it doesn't look small anymore. It's a little bit wider, it's a little bit more aggressive on the front. What they've done well is when I stand here and look down on it, this looks like a totally different car than when I take 2 steps back and look at this monster grille. Now this grille is similar to the GLE450 we reviewed. It looks like a propeller. If you look at it, it's propellingness. Now of course the 45 has a little bit more of a different front bumper, including the Panamericana grille. But this one here is just the CLA35, so it doesn't have that. It doesn't even have any venting. It's all plastic closed off on both sides, even though this is turbocharged. There is no venting. You would think that at least one side would have some venting for the cooler to cool it down. And you can't buy any performance upgrades. It's just the way it is. It does have a big monster 3-pointed star, and yes, it does have some piano black on the bottom here, and that's about it. So front end, kind of the same as the other one. No biggie. So on the front here, we have a 4-cylinder with 4-matic. So they're all 4-matic right here. And the key is that they're front-wheel drive bias. Even though it has a 50-50 transfer of power, it is primarily front-wheel drive because this is a front-wheel drive architectural type car. Well, how else do we counter that? Well, you have a cool strut bar that I feel like nobody pays enough attention to. This is a pretty cool AMG strut bar. AMG there, I feel good in my belly. Let's talk about the side. So as we move along the side here, you will see how the lighting is fully LED with multi-beam lighting from Mercedes-Benz. Now, one of my biggest beefs about the side of this thing is the fact that these wheels always feel like they're just not big enough. Even though you can get them in 18s and 19s, they're just not offset wide enough. They feel like they're inward a little bit. They need to go outward a little bit. That's my only complaint on the side of this thing. Yes, a lot of people don't like the way this looks, but it is wider now and it feels more substantial visually. Now, the other beef I have is the fact, just like the BMW, it has piano black right here. Gloss black should not be on rocker panels. They should be above where the wheel is going to hit with rocks and gravel. There is shiny black there, gloss black here, gloss black trim. That I'm okay with. But what I'm not okay with is the chrome on top of the handles. Why are you going to gloss black everywhere and then chrome right there? Hello! This has AMG drive control, which means it has damping suspension that has 3 different modes. Of course, soft to extra hard. And this thing has race mode. That's cool. Check out this Mercedes-Benz puddle light. That's awesome. Getting in and out of it, you see the magical 3-pointed star. Now here is where they made the difference. It's wider, and that's the key. They made it appear wider. When these things first came out, they were really small and skinny. The back looked really weird. The side kind of looks weird still, but they have made it wider. But the back right here is wide, and this looks like the GLE 450 we reviewed. Even as you pan down, you will see this rear diffuser has 4 cuts. It's like, not the BMW, it has 3. It also has these black tips on this rear exhaust, so let's see how the exhaust sounds like. Now even this rear spoiler is twice as wide as the BMW, and it flares upward. It gives it that old generation C63 look. Now check what's underneath there. There is the camera hiding, and it also pops open the trunk. That is from VW, if you guys remember. How much room do we have in terms of depth? We have 43 inches. That is definitely bigger than the BMW. The BMW has a whopping 36 or 3 feet. And as far as width, you've got 39, but this is the weak spot right here. The entry point, you've got about 15 inches, so you can't have something that's too high. You can have something that's wide and deep, but just not too high. Let's close this up and check out the back seat. Back seats of the CLA35 AMG. It's very low. Very low. But there are 4 seats, and that's how we win. Or am I lying? There are 5 seats. We've got a seat belt. Yes! No climate control, but there are vents. There is a USB-C, no USBs, but pretty funky, cool interior. Like even these back headrests match the front. It's like a Porsche GT3 RS or something cool. Like it's a full seat. You guys see this? Pretty awesome. And they have red stitching, no red seat belts, just black seat belts. Do we have cup holders? 1 and 2. Yes, we win. So I would say back here, it's just for adults, unlike the BMW. You can only fit children. So yes, there's space back here and it feels tight, but not overly tight. It feels a little bit plasticky, not luxurious, but again, we're in a sports car. Jump in the front. Club AMG, here we come. Look at this interior. It's like a race course. And check out all this ambient lighting. Nobody touches Mercedes when it comes to ambient lighting. Now, if you're an ambient lighting guy, you love it. If you think it's one big fat gimmick, then you probably won't like this interior. But it honestly looks like a club, a night club, not a day club, a night club. Check out this steering wheel. There's so much what some people would call gizmos and fluff. But I like it because this price point, it's still expensive, but it gives you all the luxury performance and features that one would want from a car. Despite all the gizmos, the buyer of this car is going to want this. This is what they want to see. And yes, you have the Mercedes-Benz user interface right here. That was on the GLE 450. That was $100,000. And you get this awesome trim piece that looks to be from the GTR. So there's all those pieces they put together in this thing for about $55,000 plus options. Now we're not going to take a deep dive in these 12.3 inch screens because we've done that before on pretty much all our other Mercedes-Benz videos. So I'll quickly talk about the important pieces like wireless charging. It's got 2 USBs right here in the glove box. It does again obviously have 2 cup holders, and you have race mode, and that's probably the most important part to know. So what's there not to like about it? And that would be long distance runs. This wouldn't be the most comfortable car to take. If you got another car or truck or SUV or electric car, take it. because this thing is pretty rough. It's pretty loud in here. The suspension's pretty stiff. Even when you're in comfort, it's still pretty stiff. It's smooth, but you know, it's just not insulated well enough. It doesn't feel that quality piece that's missing out of it. But maybe it's not missing. Maybe it's just not there because why'd you need it when this thing sounds like this inside? But the case is, unless you're popping your hood to sit at a car show and show everybody your hand-built motor, there's not really a huge reason to buy the 45. Unless, of course, you can get a deal on one. Then, that's a different story. But not enough for me to be like, here's the extra 10 grand. For a couple grand, 100%. Hope that helps your decision. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.